All right, guys, what's happening? Good people, Steeler Nation. What is going on, good people? This is going to be very, very, very brief, short and sweet. We're going to talk about one Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers seemingly getting on the same page. And I'm only reporting about it because, it's, I guess you want to call it news, right? So we finally know what the Aaron Rodgers saga is all about. So let's talk about it. I'm just going to give you my quick thoughts on it. Guys, listen, my opinion is not going to change from what it was, right? So let me just start by saying that. My opinion is not going to change from what it was. So let me explain that. All the way back before the summer, I can't even remember how far back it went. Was it March, April? I don't even remember. But when the news first came out that the Steelers could be in play for Aaron Rodgers, I was like, nah, that's probably not going to happen, right? But then as it intensified, and as we learned that Aaron Rodgers had conversation with the Steelers, what I continued to say and what I'm going to continue to say, I wasn't a fan of bringing Aaron Rodgers, right? And this goes all the way back to, like I said, before the draft. Kenyon and I did the Steel Table show, and, Kenyon at least got me to see the good side of bringing in an Aaron Rodgers. At the time, there was George Pickens and DK Metcalf. I will openly admit that, I wanted to kind of see what that would look like if he came. Remember, I kept saying if the Steelers decide to bring on Aaron Rodgers, sure, I would love to see what that looks like, what that means, right? So then George Pickens is traded away, and we still had no answer. And then Aaron Rodgers goes on Pat McAfee's show, and, I believed him when he said there was personal things going on. Some people very close to him dealing with some health issues, and he talked about his new relationship. Pretty much, he didn't say this. He said it without saying it. He said, I'm old. You know what I mean? He said it in so many words. Look, I'm 41 years old, bro. I've been in the game for 20 years. He's won a Super Bowl. There's nothing else to play for other than the love of the game, right? So I said then, and I will continue to say, I just don't like the plan by the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's not an Aaron Rodgers thing. I don't have any hate towards Aaron Rodgers. I do think Aaron Rodgers can still play football. I think Aaron Rodgers can play at the level or a step higher than the QB play that we got last season, excluding Justin Fields. Now, what do you mean by that? Some of you guys might be saying, I'm not saying that Justin Fields is better than Aaron Rodgers, but Justin Fields brought an element to the Steelers offense that we hadn't seen, and we were starting to benefit from it a bit, right? And then Russell got healthy, and we know the story. Russell Wilson elevated the offense a little further with pushing the ball downfield. And then that started to plateau. Again, you remember the Baltimore Ravens coach saying, and it's an embarrassing thing, but he said, hey, this guy has no mid-range. It's either a layup or a three. Easy to defend. And that was Russell Wilson's game. So when I say I think Aaron Rodgers has the capability still at 41 to play at that level or better, that's what I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers that beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in our last Super Bowl appearance. He's not that guy anymore. Not expecting that guy. However, do I think the Steelers have a chance to get to the playoffs and have a chance to potentially win a game? Yeah. I feel the same way about Aaron Rodgers at quarterback as I felt about Russell Wilson. I don't think it goes much further than that, unless for some reason this offense is just humming, right? There's always a chance, but I don't believe that. I do not believe that Aaron Rodgers takes the Steelers to the Super Bowl. So my expectations are not going to be lofty.
I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to root for the team because, again, I told you guys, I can have my opinion, but once whatever's going to happen happens, now I'm on board. So I am rooting for Aaron Rodgers to do well in Pittsburgh and win some football games and go as far as we can go. But no, I do not think this moves the needle that much. That is my opinion. That opinion has not changed. But like I said, the only reason why I'm making this video, we now have some finality to it. We know who the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback will be, barring injury. And for those of you that don't know, Aaron Rodgers has informed the Pittsburgh Steelers that he will sign a one-year deal and he will be reporting to minicamp next week. And that's the news. So like I said, my preference, again, guys, I'm going to say it. It's not against Aaron Rodgers, but my preference is still, and will always be until we do this, a start from scratch, guys, in terms of looking for the franchise quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger left. He's gone. So what we needed to do ever since then is try to find a franchise quarterback. I don't like the Steelers continuing to just plug in a veteran and hope for the best. That has been our philosophy since Ben Roethlisberger has left. And I just don't like that approach. Yes, we signed Kenny Pickett. But again, even with signing Kenny Pickett, we automatically brought in Mitchell Trubisky, right? We brought him in and then, not signing, but draft. We did draft Kenny Pickett, but we had already signed Mitchell Trubisky. Again, allowing him to do it, and you want to say that he was going to groom? No, not even the same style quarterback. And no disrespect to Mitch Trubisky, but come on. For somebody to sit behind him, that is not the same situation as a Brett Favre and an Aaron Rodgers, or an Aaron Rodgers and a Jordan Love, or a Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson. It was not that situation, Trubisky to Pickett. So you missed on Kenny Pickett. Keep trying. They went out and they drafted Will Howard. Now, some people are for him, some are against him. But I said all along, look, man, at this point, I'd rather just see them go ahead and let Mason Rudolph and Will Howard fight it out. And whoever comes out on top, let that be the quarterback. And if you're gearing up to go get you a franchise guy in 2026, which it seems that way, so be it. Right? And that is my only thing. That's why I was like, what's the point of bringing in Aaron Rodgers? However, let me say this before I wrap this up. I understand probably why they have been in that mode, because you want to try to win now because the clock is ticking for guys like TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and a few other guys to a lesser degree. So I get it. But again, I just don't think this moves the needle that much. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers at 41 in this Arthur Smith offense literally competes with the likes of Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert even, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. I know I'm missing somebody else on that list. So that's my point. Now, who knows? We get the running game cooking and the offensive line clicks. Who knows, man, what a play action and push the ball down the field type of offense could do. I do know this. We will see the middle of the field utilized. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be afraid to do that. But that's all I got, fellas and ladies, if y'all are in here. So I just wanted to do something quick, man. That's all I got. I'll read a few comments if y'all got them, but then I'm going to get out of here, man. What's up to Vista Light? Jared Devil in the building. Let's see. Y'all got any comments? Leonard Green says the waiting is ridiculous. Absolutely. Ridiculous. And again, I get he was dealing with his personal stuff, but come on, man. The timing, right? The timing of it. Just all of this for nothing, in my opinion. They could have been said, hey, he's going to sign. We're just waiting. And again, it's more, I guess it's more on Aaron Rodgers, letting them,
basically letting them know when he was ready as opposed to the Steelers waiting. I don't think it was a Steelers thing. Renegade Dre says signing Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his career is like finally banging your high school crush when she's 40 with 4 kids. Well, let me tell you something. Renegade Dre. Huh? That might not be half bad, 40 with the 4 kids. If you know, tell them, Kenyon. That ain't as bad as you think, my brother. Not in 2025. That's all I'm saying. I get your sentiment though, but hey, that might be welcomed. You know what I mean? Those that know that might be welcome, my brother. Got a little season on it. Just saying. K007 says, with Rodgers signing, are we actually going to use the middle of the field? I think so, Kate. I think there's no way you're going to tame Aaron Rodgers. So if there's a positive thing about this, I don't think you're going to tame him and, hey, temper down. No. Aaron Rodgers is going to throw the football where he wants to throw the football. Believe that. So, yes, I think the middle of the field gets utilized. Let's see. AWOL the Lock says, man, stop it. He is better than what we have now. AWOL. I'm going to say this the best I can. And the only reason why I'm going to say this with a little bit of oomph to it is because you man, stop it. Man, stop it sounds like you got a little oomph to your statement. Nothing personal. But the reason why I'm saying this, sir, is you must not have been listening to what I said. I said it has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers and his ability. That's not why I feel this way. That's not why I felt this way prior to the draft. My biggest issue is the Steelers continuing to just get a plug and play. That's not going to work. The Steelers need to do what most of these other teams have done. Granted, I understand draft position, but they need to start from the ground up. Stop trying to plug and play. That is the issue. Has nothing to do with if Aaron Rodgers is better than Mason Rudolph. Yes. Matter of fact, you might have heard me. Maybe you came in late. I said that Aaron Rodgers will be able to play at the level or even better than what we had last year. I said that. So we arguing 2 different points there, my brother. What else y'all got? Really quick, and then I'm getting out of here, man. Vista Light says, I don't think Rodgers is going to get us to the promised land. Me neither. And again, that ain't a slight to Aaron Rodgers. I don't think at this stage of his career that, he's lighting it up game after game after game after game. We'll see. Can Aaron Rodgers be better than a game manager? Sure. But then again, I think it's going to have to be complementary football. I think that means that we are maintaining possession and putting points on the board, and that defense is doing what they have to do. So keep in mind, my mindset also is looking at the defense and not necessarily knowing if they're going to be a top 10, top 5. I don't know. So that's why I say at this stage of his career, I don't think Aaron Rodgers would be able to just put the team on his back. That's what I'm saying. Just don't think he would. What else, guys? Last King of Scotland says, now I'm actually looking forward to the season. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, like I said, after I get off this video, you won't hear me complain no more. Now it's on to rooting for Aaron Rodgers. That's how I've always been. I'm not going to sit here and be all, like a lot of people in this chat do. Y'all know who y'all are. A lot of people in Steeler Nation do. They just sit and complain all year. I'm not going to do that. I'm saying my piece in the same way I didn't want Kenny Pickett. And once Kenny Pickett was on board, I was rocking with him, is exactly what I'm going to do for Aaron Rodgers as soon as I hit stop on this stream. Now he's going to be a part of the team, so let's go. It just wasn't what I wanted them to do. That's all. All right, so I think that pretty much sums it up, guys. One last one. Epilepsy says, Sim, I have a feeling it won't take long for Rodgers and Arthur Smith to butt heads. That could happen too. So now we just have to watch. Appreciate that, Randy Wagner, man. He said, we are with you 100%.
Always a great show. I appreciate that. And let me read your other comment. He says, I enjoyed building through the draft since 1969. That's my main reason for wanting Mason and Will to succeed in 2025 and beyond. Franchise QB in 2026. Yeah, that would have been my preference, man. Just let it be what it was going to be this year, since they did draft a quarterback, right? I was cool with allowing Mason Rudolph and Will Howard battle it out. And then, because again, everybody's thinking that they're going to go get one in 2026. So if that was the plan, then let's do that. But again, it just makes me feel like the Steelers are doing what we've seen the last several years. They're just going to plug in a veteran and wish for the best. And what I'm saying is I'm over that philosophy. That's not a shot at Mike Tomlin. That's not a shot at Omar Khan. That's not a shot at the Rooney family. I'm just saying I am over that philosophy. I'm done with that philosophy. That's what I'm beefing about. Robert Ellison says, Sim, I think they're going after starting QB in 2026. Yeah. And if that's what they were doing, there's no need to waste your time with Aaron, man. That's all. But hey, we got him now, so let's see what happens. Let's see if they make any other moves. If they're another wide receiver that they, Aaron Rodgers and company might be interested in. Are they really interested in Jonnu Smith, with Donald Parham going down? We shall see. Let's just see what happens from here on out. Jermaine White says they wasted a draft pick on Howard if he's not starting the season and drafting a QB next season. I wouldn't say that, Jermaine White, and here's the reason why I would say that. You look around the NFL, teams need backups, capable ones. We would know that better than most in the NFL, right? How long has it been since we felt like we had a capable backup? Mason Rudolph started getting it together in his last season, right? 6th round pick is not a waste, sir. I don't mean no harm by saying sir. I'm not trying to be funny there. I'm saying it's not a waste. In my opinion, just my opinion, a 6th round pick is not a waste. The same way you don't expect a 6th round pick to be your starting quarterback. You feel me? So I don't think it's a waste. Like I said, every team needs depth. I think taking a shot at a guy like Will Howard, who was a national champion, to be your number 2, a guy who might have an opportunity to start at some point. Again, Aaron Rodgers is a 1-year thing. So you go ahead and grab Will Howard, put him in the tuck, and then if you shoot for the stars on a draft pick next year, and then now you got these guys battling it out. I don't think that was a waste at all. Just my opinion. Why Diggy? My man, Why Diggy? He says there needs to be another move at wide receiver. Cannot disagree with that. I'm with you. I'm with you there, brother. Let's see what else they do. But I will say this, man. If they don't make any other moves, I think Aaron Rodgers will be able to find the eligibles. So we'll see. But that's all, guys. That's all I got. And Roman Wilson, yes, Kenyon and Roman Wilson, if you're looking at the clips, he's looking good out there. I understand his OTAs, but again, when you are dealing with players with lower body injury, I'm looking to see how they look in shorts, because that's the fastest that you're going to be. The fastest that you're going to run and cut and move is in shorts versus in pads. So if he can move and look the way he looks right now, he's healthy. And I am curious to see what the boy looks like in game, because let's not forget, he was a serious problem in college. So this would be his rookie season, so to speak. But all right, that's all I got, man. Again, if you guys are new to the channel, or if you're just watching and you enjoy the content, you got to do this. Got to hit that like button, man. You got to hit that subscribe button. And the last thing you should turn on your notifications, because if you don't do that, how will you know videos like these are up and running? Outside of that, man, I will catch you guys later. I forgot on Tuesday to let y'all know I'm actually going to be out of town for work next week. So there probably won't be an official Terrible Towel Tuesday. I might try to do like a pre-recorded situation, or I might not be able to do anything at all. So glad I was able to do this video tonight to inform you all of that either way. But other than that, man, I'm gone unless something else major breaks.
Hope everybody has a good night. Y'all know the routine. Stay healthy, stay safe. God bless. Good night. Thank you for tuning in. That's to each and every one of y'all. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.